We have some valuable coins for you, so don't spend one of them. So watch our complete video and find your treasure. This coin could make you rich overnight. Top 1 today, we're diving into the world of American currency to uncover the fascinating story behind a piece of history that could be hiding in plain sight. That's right, we're talking about the 1972 United States quarter dollar, a coin that might seem ordinary at first glance, but could actually be worth a small fortune. Stick around until the end, because you won't believe just how valuable this coin can be. The United States quarter dollar has a long and storied history, and the 1972 version is no exception. Minted during a period of transition and growth in America, this coin represents more than just currency. It carries with it the spirit of a nation that was evolving culturally, politically, and economically. The year 1972 was a pivotal time in American history. The country was navigating its way through the aftermath of the turbulent 1960s, embracing new technological advancements, and looking ahead to a bright future. Coins from this era hold special significance because they serve as a snapshot of that transformative period. What makes the 1972 quarter dollar so special is its design and the symbolism it carries. On the obverse side of the coin, you'll find the familiar image of George Washington, America's first president. His dignified profile has graced the quarter since 1932, a tribute to his leadership and legacy. Around the edges, you'll see the inscriptions Liberty and the national motto, In God We Trust, reminding us of the core values that define the United States. Flip the coin over, and you'll be greeted by the iconic eagle design. This majestic bird, with its wings spread wide, clutches a bundle of arrows and an olive branch, symbols of strength, readiness for defense, and the desire for peace. The details in the feathers and the overall artistry make this design a timeless classic. It's no wonder that the quarter dollar remains one of the most beloved coins in American currency, but as any serious collector knows, it's not just the design that makes a coin valuable, it's also about rarity and condition. While millions of quarters were minted in 1972, very few have survived in pristine, uncirculated condition. Most of these coins were used in everyday transactions, subjected to wear and tear, and lost their original luster over time. Finding one that has been carefully preserved, with no scratches, blemishes, or signs of handling, is incredibly rare. To make things even more exciting, some 1972 quarters have unique features or minting errors that set them apart. These could include doubled dies, variations in the lettering, or other subtle differences that occurred during the minting process. Collectors absolutely love error coins because they are unique and tell a fascinating story about the manufacturing process. A 1972 quarter with such an error can significantly increase in value and become the centerpiece of a collection. So, what's the value of a 1972 United States quarter dollar? Well, if you happen to have one in immaculate, uncirculated condition, or if you're lucky enough to own one with a rare minting error, you could be sitting on a goldmine. These coins, when verified and graded by experts, have been known to fetch impressive prices at auctions, and now, here's the moment you've been waiting for. If your 1972 quarter dollar meets all the criteria, perfect condition, rarity, and possibly a unique feature, it could be worth as much as $45,000. That's right, $45,000 for a single quarter. Imagine turning 25 cents into a life-changing amount of money. It's a collector's dream come true and a reminder that even the smallest items can hold incredible value. So, if you've got a stash of old coins, it's time to start searching. Check your drawers, piggy banks, and coin jars, you never know what treasures you might find. Top 2, we've got a real treat for you as we explore a piece of US currency that many may overlook, the 1979 United States quarter dollar. At first glance, this coin might seem like any other, but if you dig a little deeper, you'll discover that it could be worth more than you ever imagined. Stick around until the end, and we'll reveal just how much this 1979 quarter dollar could fetch today. Let's start by taking a trip back in time to 1979. The world was a different place back then. The US was in the midst of the Carter administration, and the economy was going through some challenges, including high inflation and energy crises. It was a time of change and uncertainty, and the nation's coins, including the quarter dollar, reflected this era in subtle ways. This coin was part of a series that was minted from 1932 onward, but by 1979, the design had been slightly altered, featuring George Washington on the obverse side. His image was first used in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of Washington's birth, and it remains a fixture on the quarter to this day. The reverse side of the 1979 quarter features the familiar eagle perched on a branch, representing freedom and strength. While these designs are iconic and beautiful, there's something more to this coin than meets the eye. The key to its value lies in its rarity and condition. The United States Mint produced millions of quarters every year, but as with many coins, the survival rate of those that remain in pristine condition is relatively low. Over time, most quarters were circulated and saw daily use, which led to wear and tear that can significantly affect their value. Coins with scratches, dents, or fading details are typically worth only face value, or a little more to collectors who appreciate vintage pieces. However, some 1979 quarter dollars were never used. These are the coins that were either kept in perfect condition or stored away and forgotten about. Uncirculated coins, or those that have been well preserved, are far rarer than you might think, and they are highly sought after by collectors. In fact, if you happen to have one of these pristine 1979 quarters in your collection, you could be sitting on a small fortune. But that's not all. There's more to these coins than just their condition. What truly makes the 1979 quarter dollar stand out is the presence of a rare and unique minting error. Some 1979 quarters were struck with a double die, meaning that the design was mistakenly stamped twice on the coin, creating a noticeable doubling effect in the lettering and details. These error coins are incredibly rare and are often considered one of the most valuable finds in coin collecting. A 1979 quarter with a double die can command attention from numismatists, dealers, and collectors alike, and it's exactly the kind of coin that can dramatically increase in value. Now, let's get to the exciting part, the value of the 1979 United States quarter dollar. If you happen to find a 1979 quarter dollar in uncirculated condition or, even better, one with the coveted double die error, you could potentially sell it for a staggering amount. In fact, the value of such a coin can reach up to $50,000, that's right, $50,000. Who would have thought that a simple coin from 1979 could be worth so much? If you happen to have one of these rare gems lying around in your collection, now is the time to take a closer look. You might just have a valuable treasure in your hands, waiting to be uncovered. So, the next time you come across a 1979 quarter, don't just dismiss it as another coin. Take a moment to inspect its condition, check for any minting errors, and see if it could be one of those rare, valuable pieces that coin collectors dream of owning. And who knows? You might just strike it rich. Top 3, we're diving into a coin that has captured the attention of collectors and enthusiasts alike, the United States of America 1999 quarter dollar. At first glance, it may seem like just another ordinary coin, but hold on. This particular quarter holds a secret, a rarity, and a value that might just blow your mind. And now, when you think of quarters, you probably picture the ones you use in your day-to-day transactions. They're common, right? But there are a select few that have quietly become highly sought-after treasures. The 1999 quarter dollar is one of these hidden gems, and it has an interesting story behind it that makes it more valuable than you might think. The year 1999 marked a significant time in the history of U.S. coinage. The United States Mint had been rolling out a series of state quarters, each featuring designs representing the 50 states. The idea was simple: to honor the rich history, culture, and symbols of each state. But what most people didn't realize is that during this time, some coins were accidentally struck with errors, and those mistakes would go on to become highly valuable. The 1999 quarter dollar is a perfect example of such a coin. Produced at the Philadelphia Mint, these quarters were meant to have a simple and straightforward design. On the reverse side, you'll see a depiction of the famous eagle with the words E pluribus unum encircling it. But here's the kicker: while most of the 1999 quarters were perfectly minted, a small number of them were struck with a flaw that would set them apart from the rest. Now, we know collectors love mistakes. And in the case of this quarter, that's exactly what happened. Some of the 1999 quarters were struck with a double die error, meaning the design was stamped onto the coin twice, giving it a unique appearance. This error occurred when the coin was struck by the dies at the minting facility. The second strike made the design appear more prominent, and the effect is noticeable when you look closely at the letters and features on the coin. Finding a 1999 quarter dollar with this error is incredibly rare, and that's what makes it so valuable. But what about those coins that don't have the error? Well, even a standard 1999 quarter in good condition can still hold some value, but the real jackpot lies in those error coins. So, what makes these error coins so special? To understand the appeal, it's important to realize that collectors are always on the lookout for anything that deviates from the standard. A double die error, for instance, creates a distinct version of the coin that you won't find anywhere else. This rarity, combined with the historical significance of the 1999 P quarter as part of the State Quarters series, has made it an object of desire for numismatists worldwide. But let's talk about the numbers. How much is this coin worth, you ask? Well, it's all about condition, rarity, and, of course, whether it has the coveted double die error. If you have a 1999 P quarter that's in mint condition and features that distinctive error, you could be looking at a value of up to $35,000. Yes, you heard that right, $35,000 for a single quarter. Imagine stumbling upon one of these in your spare change or finding it in an old collection you've had lying around. For coin collectors, the potential for finding such a valuable piece is what keeps them searching and researching day after day. So, what should you do if you think you found a 1999 P quarter dollar with a double die error? The first step is to carefully examine the coin. Look for clear signs of doubling on the letters, numbers, and other design elements. If you spot something unusual, it's worth getting it checked by a professional numismatist or taking it to a coin dealer for an appraisal. You never know, it might be worth far more than you ever expected. If you've got a coin that seems to fit the bill, don't be quick to spend it or discard it. A simple quarter could turn into a rare and valuable asset in the world of coin collecting, and that could mean a major windfall for you. The value of a 1999 P quarter dollar is a prime example of how something as small as a coin can carry a significant amount of value. Coin collecting isn't just about holding onto shiny objects, it's about discovering hidden treasures and unlocking the history behind each piece. And for those who are lucky enough to own a 1999 P quarter dollar with the double die error, it's a treasure worth far more